Hello everyone, I am Surrendel the Awesome, and I'm back, and I'm ready to look at some more r/OhNoConsequences. But before I get started, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if I can't convince you, perhaps this picture of my cat will convince you. And random fact about my cat society is that you quite literally don't need a license to hold a bazooka or fire one, but you need at least half a dozen or more licenses to hold a kitchen knife. And also before I get started, don't forget to check out my other channel, Surrendel Reviews, where I do video game, movie, and show reviews, and I'll leave a link in the description down below. And without further ado, let's get into this. So his first post here says, FAFO, Contractor Edition. And OP here says, took a risk and hired a young guy, 27 male, just starting out to build a pole barn. Guy proved utterly incompetent, and long stupid story short, we had to go to a small claims court. He had to refund us most of our deposit per the court to pick up said materials. Mommy and Daddy mailed the check, had 26 days to pick it up. Guess who didn't pick up the materials by the court-mandated deadline on Saturday and is now begging for a second chance to come pick it up? I have had a strong feeling he is usually on the other side of screwing someone over, and it isn't the first time his parents have had to clean up his mess, unfortunately. But if the materials are worth what he claimed in court, we will be made completely whole and make a few $100s off of the last few months of hell. Okay, for this one, this is gonna probably get like maybe a 45 out of 50. I feel like the parents should really just say to themselves, you know what, son, unfortunately, you're gonna have to learn the hard way and we're not helping you anymore. And yeah, unfortunately, I think most of this is down to the parents because they are kind of just enabling the son. And yeah, they just need to let the son learn the hard way. And this next post here says, what's that? I can't just cheat on my boyfriend without my mom holding me accountable? Teenagers, man. And OP here says, I have two daughters, Lizzie, 17 female, and Mackenzie, 14 female. Their dad and I divorced a few years ago after I discovered he was having an affair. I have the kids most of the time, and their dad has them every weekend and during the summers. Lizzie has been dating Jacob, 18 male, for over a year now. Jacob is constantly at our house. He is sweet, good young man, and I believe he'll be a valedictorian of their class. However, a few weeks ago, I overheard Lizzie on the phone with a guy clearly flirting. At first, I thought it was Jacob, but then I heard her say Brandon. I realized she was talking to someone else. Then, a week later, she mentioned to me that she was heading out to hang out with a friend. And when I looked out the window, I saw her get into a car and greet a guy with a kiss. It wasn't Jacob. Even after that, Jacob continued to come over, hanging out with Lizzie. He and Lizzie were still acting like a couple, holding hands, laughing, and spending time together, just like they had always had. And I feel disgusted knowing my daughter was being a two-timer. I mean, clearly, considering the fact you have experience with that. Anyways, OP here goes on to say, after Jacob left that day, I confronted my daughter. I asked her point blank, are you cheating on your boyfriend with another guy? She said that it was none of my business and that her personal life was hers only. I told her she was wrong and that I raised her better than to treat people like this. She told me she was bored with Jacob and that Brandon was more of her type. I told her that if she wasn't happy, she should just break up with Jacob. She said she didn't know if she wanted to be with Brandon or if she was just having fun flirting and teasing. I told her cheating is unacceptable and wrong, and as a consequence, I grounded her. I told her she was not going to be going to her senior trip with her friends. She obviously didn't take that too well and has been at her dad's place for the past couple of days. My ex-husband called me and saying that I was being unreasonable not letting her go to the trip and that her and Jacob was just a high school thing. He then told me that I need to put my bitterness aside and stop punishing his daughter. I told him I was teaching our daughter right from wrong and that actions have consequences. I mean, good on the mom. You gotta teach your kids that, yeah, cheating is wrong, and sometimes they kinda have to have some consequences. I think you should probably also tell Jacob, but yeah, good on the mom. Other than that, and this person's gonna get a me approved out of 50 because I approve of this response. And yeah, cheating is wrong. And this next post here says, I said something creepy and now people think I'm a creep. And OP here says, please excuse my English, I am not a native speaker. I, 19, am currently in university and happen to be enrolled together with an old friend who is now my ex-friend who is male 20, and we have been friends since the first grade and looked and behaved scarily alike. He had told me that he likes me before when we were 17, and I have flat out refused him, but we still stayed in contact. Now, onto the problems. We attended a party together, like we usually do, because we live on the same street, and it's a lot safer for me to go with a man than alone. It all went well until he decided to ask me if he could drink beer for my teas, which I obviously said no to. He then asked if he could touch them, and I again said no, and left the party. The next day, my friends asked me why I left the party, and I told them what happened. Well, the problem is, today he came up to me and told me that my friends told him what he said to other people, and now his social life is ruined because people see him as a weirdo. I said sorry and rushed off. So I've been thinking, did I mess up by telling my friends? Okay. I am gonna say that while yes, he was drunk, he really should have probably maybe had some sense of control. And I'm gonna probably give this like a question mark out of 50. I don't know what to rate this, and I am willing to give him a little bit of slack because he was drunk probably when making that decision. And yeah, I don't think people make great decisions when they're drunk. And I think with that, that's gonna do it for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
In fact, both local San Francisco papers are investing a lot of money to try and get a service just like that started. Science editor Steve Newman reports on one person